monkey's the eye in the sky. He sees everything.
Later that same evening.
Tina Royal Show! Hey!
Come on. Welcome back, Raw Nation, to another installment of Raw View, where you get a better insight of each king and queens behind the scene. I'm your host, Chino Royale, baby. I'm here with, what's your name, man?
You know my name is Shawnee.
What's your name? 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 Man, I got a story to tell y'all. Okay, we were a little stiff on the first interview. We were a little stiff. The Lord was telling us that we were a little stiff on the interview.
That could never be.
He said, Shawnee, you're a little stiff. It's okay. We coming into this one, and we're not gonna be stiff. I have a story to tell y'all about how I met her. Okay, shout out Tatiana, my girl. We did the shoot. Where was it?
It was in Logansport. Waterfalls in Logansport.
The waterfalls. What I mean, I've never been in an official movie yet, but this woman made me feel like a star. All right. On top of the waterfall, I didn't even have hair at the time like that, but I felt like the wind was blowing, and I felt like very majestic. Yeah, I had my hands like this at the very top of the cliff. But it was a beautiful moment, and I appreciate it. Ever since then, like, loved everything that she's been doing and loved to see her grow. And that's what we're here to do.
Thank you.
But how are you doing today?
Well, I'm awesome. I did have the opportunity to photograph a tea party with Regina Frejon Jones.
Shout out.
And it was really awesome. It was probably around 60 people there as far as females were concerned. They all were elegant, dressed nice. You know, it was inspirational. I was in the room with a lot of, powerful women. I love that. And I need to see more of that. It was awesome. Today was an awesome day.
Speaking of strong, powerful women, how you feel about the mayor right now? I know she's been doing a lot of like amazing things and whatnot. Like how you feel about the time that we're in, where it's just like you're starting to see a lot more like strong, powerful women like coming to the forefront and like doing a lot of.
I'm proud of her.
Awesome things.
She made history being the first Black female mayor in Fort Wayne. That's amazing, and I can't see her being a senator one day. And I'm excited about the progression. It's history.
Definitely. But you know which strong woman we're here to talk about today? I know you know what we're gonna talk about today. You know what time it is? We're gonna get in. Yeah, see, we're gonna hop in that time machine real quick. Get back.
Ooh, I got my way back.
But we need to figure it out. Where did all this start for you? Like, where did you draw all this inspiration from? How did this for everything that you got going on right now? Like, how did your artistry form for you?
Okay, I think I was 7. My mom worked at gym, and I didn't live with her till I was 7 because she pays people to, take care of me. So when I first started living with my mom, I actually was really quiet, and she started, like, I had went through a terrible situation with the people that took care of me. Mm-hmm. I think they had put drugs in my drink. So I was in a hospital. I didn't know how to read. I couldn't write, and I couldn't talk. So all I remember is she gave me something to drink. The babysitter did. And I stayed with her. She was my caregiver while my mom was working. She lived in Harvey. And I was in Chicago. I jumped off the counter and I jumped into the floor. I could understand what people were saying, but I couldn't talk. So when I went with my mom, I couldn't even say my ABCs at the age of 7. So she was stern with me. She taught me over the summer. I went back and I was able to read. I was able to do math and everything. But what was so easy now was complicated for me. So I remember I was a little girl. My room was all white. I had white carpet, black meat couch, white everything. It was like a doll room. And my mom had this bookcase full of Disney books. And I would lay down by the ventilator on the venter, and I would go get some hot chocolate and lay there and read a fantasy book. And I was intrigued with words. I fell in love with words. That was my first love, words. I would read a story and I'd be so amazed. So one day I tried to write a story and I went to my mom. My mom was great at telling stories. So I went to my mom and I put the story together so well. She's like, you're going to be really good at that, you know? So when I got in 6th grade, my first play was called A Search for Freedom. It was about three sisters that were separated and their parents were slaughtered in front of them. And my teacher wrote my mom. She called her in. She said something. Your daughter has been through abuse. You know, her writing level is amazing. You know, the stories she put together is something that is remarkable, but at the same time, it concerns us. You know. And the truth was, I had been through abuse, and that started my art. You know, my artistry was writing and doing plays. It was a pain I went through. I went through a lot of pain growing up. You know, I knew what it was like for when it came to eat before I lived with my mom, where I only had like a chicken wing, or I didn't have food. I knew what it was like to. I grew up on 65th and Low, to fight every single day. I knew what it was like to be on a playground and you hear gunshots. You can't move because you a child. I'm only 5 years old. Somebody had to pick me up. And where I was at, it was Kershaw Elementary. They shot my whole school up trying to kill a young boy whose brother was in the gang. And then, I used to be in class. I remember I was in kindergarten. And I used to sit there and I used to listen to people read. And I couldn't. I remember the babysitter I would sit around the table. They would take like a knife and hit me on the hand. They would make bets that I couldn't say my ABCs, and then I would wet myself. Then finally, when I lived with my mom, it was an opportunity for me to learn to write. So I used writing as a weapon. I started writing a lot, and my neighbor was a pastor. I discovered, he introduced me to God. He taught me about Jesus. My mom taught me. We went to church every Sunday. And I would go through stuff. And my mom, the way she would find out what I was going through is when I would write. I started in poetry. Then I would write poetry. Then I would write stories. And I was addicted to it. I couldn't stop writing. I love writing. So the older I began, I started doing plays. When I came to Fort Wayne in 2010. First play was Knock Knock. It was about the end of the world. Then we did Blue Creek Washout.
Were those all here at like the embassy and
no,
and
we
stuff
didn't
like that?
make it there. I didn't have the money for that.
So
we went to the library.
Okay.
Or Abundant Life. I did whatever I could. We would get Rent a Center. They would come and set up the stage and everything. And my best friend knew Angel. She introduced me to Angel, and Angel and I became like sisters. So they knew everybody that could sing, everybody that could act. So I would write a play, get on stage, and we would, perform. And I think my greatest productions is when I'm going through pain. When I'm feeling pain, I put it on paper. So like in 2015, I was like, these plays are so expensive. Everybody going on with their life, but I promised people I'm gonna do this production, and then my life falling apart. So I kind of got mad. You know how you feel like, oh, I'm at that point, I'm angry now. So you just stop. I was like, I don't have that in me to keep pushing, because I felt like I was like I felt like I was like, how you have a blade and it breaks. I didn't break, but I bent, So I got 2 cameras. I was like, we're gonna do a movie. I'm gonna take a little break from plays. It was more complicated. A lot of people had things going on. So I started shooting, it started with a couple. It's Robert Zane and Samantha. Shout out to them. They started it off, they were real popular, and people started coming in. I never had a business card. I was always blessed to be blessed with business, because everybody that I shoot are all family and friends.
Yeah.
It's everybody that knows somebody, So it came to now, I said, you know what? I think it's time. Like they say, you ride a bicycle, you never forget how to ride.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Muscle memory.
I sat in front of that computer I was like, let me try to write this play through the fire, you know. And it's like we're all like brass. It's a dull metal, but once you go through the fire, you come out beautiful. You come out shiny. That new metal, you know, just like sand make glass. Heat and pressure make glass. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I feel like that's what I had to go through. Doing photography allowed me to see life a different way. So finally, I wrote my first production after 10 years. It was called Through the Fire. And I took time to create those characters so eloquent because, you know, I love writing, but I used to write so swiftly. I just wrote it fast. This time I took my time. Then one day I was sitting down. I got a phone call. My friend J-Lo called me. I think I've known J-Lo since 2010. He was like, hey, Livewire. I was like, no, it's Ty. Don't call me Livewire. He was like, what's up, sis? He was like, let's do a movie. I was like, what's up with the movie? What you want me to write? He was like, this the title. He was like, F Friday is Sunday. I was like, no, I'm in a different stage of my life. How about forget Friday, it's Sunday? He was like, yeah, the devil you don't know. I said, let me pray about it. I took 2 weeks and prayed about it. Then one day he called, he's like, hey, what's up? I wrote 9 pages. I did a rough draft. Let him read it. He loved it. I said, okay, give me another 2 weeks. I don't want you to let nobody see that because I want to write, okay? So I would put my music on, go in there, and I start writing. I went from 1 to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70. Next thing I was done. And, you know, it wasn't like the 1 week I'm done with the script. It was a month. You know, coming home 2 o'clock in the morning, sitting at that computer, you know, praying, just me and that computer.
Them
and
real
whatever
hours.
God rolls through my fingers, you know what I'm saying? And you know, some of your greatest stories come from pain. And some of the pain I had went through, losing a lot, I put and I nourished into that story. It was like you have soil. You plant these seeds, but if it's on stony ground, it's not gonna grow. You know what I'm saying? So I was putting it into soil. I was praying over it, and I was like, I'm ready now. You know, I was like, Lord, I'm really, really ready. You know, I had to learn humility. I had to learn boldness and humility and making a balance. You know, sometimes people can't do stuff because they're not balanced.
Right.
You know?
Which one of the many talents that you have, which one of them came first? Like, was there like any
Theatrics,
distinct writing?
Yes.
So how did that kind of like grow into like those other things? Like, did you just get thrusted into the photography? And
Yes, that's how I feel. It was thrust. It was I'm an artistic person, so I was looking for an artistic avenue. I fell in love with photography.
Okay.
You know, it's something that I love to do. Like, every shoot is like my first time. It's an experience that I haven't experienced yet. I could do 1,000 weddings, and each wedding is unique. I could do 1,000 photo shoots. Each photo shoot is different because it's not the same people. It's not the same situation. So that's why I fell in love with it.
And if you've never been on set with her, like each experience is different, but like there's always something that is the same. So like, I'll give you an example. So like, we'll go through a whole take, right? We'll be like, oh yeah, that was dope. Wait a minute, hold on, this pillow wasn't right. Put this pillow back. Put this pillow back. There we go. Now let's try it.
Yeah. Like we tried to record and the mic wasn't on. Hopefully this one is.
Yeah. Hey, she got me. She got me. Look, this is not our first take.
This is our second.
But this is the best take you're gonna have ever. That's why the Lord was telling us something on
You
that
think
last.
so?
I think so.
I'm giving y'all a part of me nobody knows. You know, I'm transparent. You know, I'm real. I'm tough to some people until you get to know me. You know, I'm not an open book for everybody, but I feel like if I can teach somebody in my writing, give them directions. Like, I can't tell you how to get down the street if I've never been there myself. I can't give you directions if I've never been through it. You know, I can't tell you, oh, I know what it's like to lose someone or lose everything if I haven't lost everything, because I have lost everything before. I can't tell you you can do this and you don't need help from nobody but God if I didn't go through it myself. Yeah.
See, I'm gonna triple down on it. This is why I'm calling you a legend for the third time.
I didn't have no grants, no handouts from nobody. I didn't beg nobody for nothing because I know what it's like not to have. One thing you might not know about me, my mom is black, my dad's from Thailand. And people from my other half of my culture have come to the United States where they were dirt poor, where they had to dig holes in the ground to use the bathroom. But they come here, and what we take for granted, they don't take for granted. You know, so in my blood, the from my mom and what she went through in the past, I have strength that runs through my blood. If I see it, I believe I can do it because I have faith. I have faith in my Father. What somebody else can have, I feel like, you know what? My Father made everything that is in this world, and I pray, and I know He gonna give it to me, and He answers them. I'm trying to tell you, if you ever feel like you want to make a movie, you ever feel like you could be the next big star, you ever feel like you could be the next best photographer in the world, whatever you put your mind to, whatever you feel, just remember, grind. Have faith in you. Don't look for affirmation from other people. Have faith in you and pray. It's no such thing as a perfect human being. You know what I'm saying? Like, we all have our times when we might fall, like falter, and be like, I can't do this no more. But you know what? You got to keep going. Because it's like, this one pastor, I think it was Cheatham. I don't know if he's still in Fort Wayne, but maybe. I sat in his service and he was talking about this daughter, and it was her dad. They was going through a storm. Everybody was going through the storm, and they was on the road, and the storm was terrible. People wasn't gonna make it out alive, but he just kept going through it. Finally, they saw sunshine, and she was like, Dad, how do we make it? And he looked at her, he was like, if we would have gave up, we would have still been back in that storm with them. So no matter what you go through, just remember, you can fight and get through it. You can keep your faith and get through it. But it has to take the first step on that journey. The first step to getting to your destination of what you want out of life and what you want to do with your life.
Y'all, I don't know about y'all, but I'm about to go write a movie.
Okay,
y'all just said, I'm about to go write a movie right now. I swear, I'm like a whole motivational speaker over here, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you. So, with everything that I just heard right there, like, would you just say that that's how you write, just in general? Like how would you define just the atmosphere that you write? Is it like always motivation? Is it like comedy?
No, if I get mad at somebody, I'm gonna write.
Okay.
That's I'm gonna write.
So it just
because
depends.
you know, it's like, okay, it's like having a child. Let's say, okay, so I've been to 8 countries because I was in the military.
Okay.
And I did a lot of Westpacks. And when I went to my father's hometown, and it was Thailand, I seen children that were young that had no food to eat. I mean, out in the streets early, like 4 a.m., 2 a.m.
Just
you
searching.
know what I'm saying? They had no food to eat. So it's like, with me not knowing how to read when I was little because of the environment I was in before I lived with my mom, I would sit there and I would look at kids reading and I couldn't. I was made fun of. So I became hungry. When my mom taught me and I learned how to formulate a sentence, then a paragraph, then I could read a whole story, I became hungry. And I was like, I can do that. I can keep doing that. I can keep learning. I can get more knowledge. Because at one point, I was starving for it. So when you hungry for something, you're going to eat. You know, you're going to fight to eat. And that's how I am. I'm going to fight so I can get what I want. You know? If I see something and I sit there and I focus on it, I want that. I'm going to do what I got to do to get that. Because guess what? I'm hungry for it. If you don't have that hungry, you won't have that drive, and you will not do it. If you're just fed all the time and you're comfortable with where you're at, you can never get ahead. You have got to be hungry for whatever you want to. Like if you want to be the next anything big, you don't have to just say, "Oh, I'm gonna do it." Find ways and avenues to do it. Push yourself. And don't give up. If you gotta take a break and you still want to do it, you need that little time, take that break, but then come back and be stronger than what you was before.
She said,
you know
spin the block.
Like, I'm like, boom, boom, bro. Shoot, I'ma get it.
I see you.
Anything's possible, bruh.
Anybody, if you ever around something, you gotta make sure that you always keep your hands up because she will swing on you at all times.
No, I'm not. I'm sweet. Don't believe
Look, y'all might not see it, but we got a lot of makeup on me right now. Like I got hit a couple times. That's why we honestly had to take a couple takes. This is the she knocked me out the last time, and then I woke up finally. Hey, no, you are definitely. I got one question though before we get to our main question.
Okay.
What is something that you do, because you did talk about you got to keep bettering yourself every day. Okay. What is something that you do to keep sharpening the quote unquote sword, so to speak? Like, how do you keep getting better every day?
Move in silence.
Period.
Because everyone that you tell your dreams to, or everyone you tell what you want to do, are not always happy. They might be happy for you, but secretly they might be speaking bad about you. One thing I learned is words are powerful. You know, the devil is the prince of air. So when you speak, always plead the blood of Yahshua over everything that you do. Because some people might say, oh, this person ain't gonna do that, they ain't gonna do that, they gonna fail, watch this and this and that. So that's why every day before I sleep, when I wake up, when I drive, I plead the blood of Yahshua over everything. Anything that I want to do, I plead the blood. I plead the blood of Yahshua. First, in the name of Jehovah Jireh, in the name of Yahshua, I plead the blood, and I have faith of a child. If you have faith of the child, that's strong, because you know children believe. So I say, when people speak things on you and you feel like it's bad, rebuke it in the name of Yahshua. I remember 3 years ago, I was in the hospital. Doctor said, oh, you got heart failure, you got this, you got that. Oh, you sick. And I said, I rebuke you in the name of Yahshua. I plead the blood of Yahshua over you. If they wanted to, they was trying to bury me 3 years ago. I wasn't supposed to be able to work. He's like, oh, your lungs is terrible. And I was like, I don't receive that. I rebuke you in the name of Yahshua. I'm quick to rebuke something in the name of Yahshua, because I am not going to let a man that God made tell me if I'm gonna live or die. I'm still here. I got my stuff back. The doctor was like, your lungs are good, your heart is good. And I was like, that's because my father, that's because Abba, our holy Abba, Jehovah Rapha, in the name of Yahshua, he healed me. You know, if I was to listen to what man said, I would be coughing up roses right now, or dirt, for real. So, you know, don't, you know, if somebody ever has something negative to say, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that, rebuke it in the name of Yahshua. Know that the word that you have for your own life, and speak positiveness over yourself, because words are powerful. People don't understand words are spells. So be very careful in what you say and what you manifest.
Man, you over here preaching over here. What church you speaking at? Like,
okay,
look.
Okay. I know my pastor and them gonna get mad at me, but look. I gotta get back to church because I'm supposed to go on Saturday. But my pastor is Pastor Winston Pearson. Shout out. Y'all, listen. My pastor can preach, anointing, all of that is on the church. Everybody in my church has a business that's successful. Everybody. It's Alma and Wayndale, where Scott says you should go up the road, make a right. It's the Church of Jesus. Yes. There you go. Church is anointed.
Shout out. And speaking of positivity, all love, we love you. I love you. Love. I'm just telling you.
Okay. What's popping?
Hey, you already know what's popping. That's why we here. We speaking on everything that you've been through, all the love that you've done and continue to bring into the community. And we all love what you can continue to bring and have done, and just wanted to give you your flowers because you definitely deserve them.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
But before we get on out of here, I got one big question to ask, and that is, where is all this stuff going for Miss Shawnee? Like, what is the overall end game? What is your overall end goal?
No end game yet, because Yahweh has a lot for me. Okay. He has a lot for me to do. It's a lot that I have to do. One thing I do want to do, my mom had her wings in 2006 for cancer. She died. She was a strong woman. Anybody that knew my mama, they called her Mama D. My mama was strong. We thought she'd be here like at least to 90 years old. She did want to do a prison ministry for females. And I used to hear her, she'd be like, I want to do a prison ministry. And I'd be like, that's deep. And that's one thing I do want to do. I want to reach out to women that have been through the system to let them know that your past is not your future. You know, your past does not define you. Right now, and your future is what defines you. You know, I do want to get into prison ministry, being a motivational person for people, for women that have no outlet.
I can see that.
You know, it's a lot of women that had no family, no mom, no father, no family whatsoever, you know. So I do want to get into prison ministry. I do want in the future to open up a school for theatrics and maybe photography for young people. Hey, we need teachers, bro.
Hey, I'm gonna be in there.
You know, so I feel like, you know, like W.E. Du Bois, one thing I loved about him was the 10%. The 10% of lifting our young up so we can have a more positive future. And that's something that I do want to do, because we have a lot of young talent that's uninhibited, that has not been cultivated correctly, or someone to push them. You know, sometimes you, the name of my production company is On the Edge Productions. On the edge. Like, you own the edge. Because sometimes you can be on the edge and somebody can be the force to push you over, or somebody can be the force to pull you from going over to save you. And that's what I do want to do. I do want to have a school of arts, you know, theatrics, acting, writing, photography, you know, stuff like that, you know, dance, anything dealing with anything artistic. You might not be the kind of person that want to stand on stage. You might want to be the kind of person that's going to direct, do the stage setup. Someone that might be good with direction. Somebody that might be good with doing back scenes. Somebody that might be good at dancing. Maybe you don't want to dance, or you just might come up with ideas to help choreograph someone. You know, where I'm from, everybody had a talent. Either you could sing, rap, dance, write, or did poetry. It was one of the two, you know. When I was growing up in Harvey, you know, people call Harvey Chicago. It's not Chicago, but that was a base of where I was from before I came here. We came here in 1990, so I pretty much spent a lot of my life in Fort Wayne. So I think I'm like a hybrid between Chicago and Fort Wayne. And I went to the military for a while. But I do call Fort Wayne home. You know, a lot of my friends in high school were from Fort Wayne. You know, in high school I was quiet. I wasn't the type of person that was boisterous or loud. I stayed to myself.
I was gonna say you silent but deadly over here. I was gonna say you silent but deadly over here.
But you know what? Most people that are good in theatrics are introverts. They're not extroverts.
Which makes sense.
The extrovert quality does not come out into their own stage. And that's when I would voice my opinion, when I was acting or rapping or something dealing with music or something creative, when I could express myself, you know, that's when my voice come out. Because the average person, if you meet me
in the background,
I talk a lot.
You talk a lot?
Yeah, I could work talking 12 hours and still talk another 13. You could drive me in the middle of nowhere and I'm gonna make friends. I got in trouble. I was called motor mouth in school. I talked so much. I remember my mom came behind me and somebody got bold with me. It's like, you getting bold with me? And my mom was behind me. They got real bold. Next thing I know, gravity left my feet. I'm like, oh no! She picked me up. Teacher called me. I went to the bathroom. I came out straight and sweet. She told me up, okay? So she ain't play that. No, she ain't never played that. But I thank God for her. I miss her, because without her, I wouldn't be who I am today. You know, I wouldn't be nowhere near who I am.
Shout out all our strong figures. Shout out our moms. Shout out our fathers out there doing their thing. But I want
to even the neighborhoods.
Hey,
back in the day, they used to raise us.
Community.
Yes, the pastor across the street. Him and his wife used to watch us. The neighbors next door. We used to have villages that raised us. It was no such thing as being no single mom. You had communities. That's what we need again. We need communities to watch out for our kids. If you see a child by themselves. Don't just leave that child by themselves. You know, hey, are you okay? Do you need help? Are you lost? Because it takes a village to. It's so true. It takes a village to raise our children now, and there's so much stuff going on that we need the old school values back again. Because it ain't like that, and that is something I want in the future. I want to have. That's why I was creativeness. I feel like a school of arts would be so wonderful for our children because it's so crazy how you have a 10-year-old and before you know it, that child is grown and the next generation is coming up, you know. So we need to teach them while they're young, while they're innocent, before, because you never know, we might be cultivating the next president. We might be lawyer, good police officers, you know what I'm saying? We might be, you know, cultivating that. You know, what we need to do is have our soil of us and plant seeds for these children to be flowered, grow up, to be something positive, not just the music that defines them is nothing.
And for more of the motivation you need in your life, where can we find you, man?
No, don't listen to me.
For $9.95 right down below.
I'm not gonna be don't look for me. Don't do it. Look for him, okay? If you want me to chop it up and cook something, I can cook too.
Hey. But go ahead, shout out any place we can find you, because the fans are literally looking at me through the camera like, I don't even know where to find you. Like, we gotta find you.
Where to find me? You just came.
I know where to find you. They don't know where to find you. You can always find
me on Facebook. I'm not gonna be on Instagram. I'm not gonna be on Twitter. I'm not gonna be on Snapchat because I'm not that savvy with stuff. You're gonna find me on Facebook. If you ever need, hit me up on my messenger. You can find me. It don't have to always be photography stuff. If you need someone to talk to or ear, I'll listen to you. I'll always answer that Facebook. People be writing me at 4 or 5 in the morning, 3, 2 in the morning. I'll be like, dang, is there a business time that we supposed to be closed down, but people still write me? They be like, hey, I'm like,
we open in like 2 hours.
Yeah, it'd be like, bring. If you have something you can't talk to somebody about, I could be the ear. Because, you know, I've been through a lot in my life. I've had a lot, I've lost a lot, and vice versa. You know what I mean? It's nothing that I haven't seen under the sun, you know. Sometimes all you need is somebody to talk to without them judging you or even telling you what to do. Sometimes you need to just talk out your pain so you can hear it yourself, and you just need that ear. You know, you don't need nobody like, well, you did this wrong, you did that wrong. You don't want to hear that because you already been told that. You just need to, you know, say it and hear it out loud, and then God will give you the intuition to make the right decisions. But if you need to find me, Facebook Messenger all day. SHAWN with a Y to the T to the O to the M to the N to the S. We stay blessed. We stay blessed. Manifest, bro.
Yeah, come on. Like I said, I warned y'all. She knocked me out last time. Gotta be careful. But with that being said, it's all gonna be down below, down in the description. Check her out. Living legend out here. But until next time, stay royal out there. Peace.
Too sexy for a shirt, on her knees like she in church. Lower it down, this ain't no raise, but I bet you been his birds. Jeez. 1 time, 2 time, 3. 1 time, 2 time.